Welcome back. Working again with theoretical probability here. We'll be working with the idea of rolling two dice. Now, our prerequisite skills that we're relying on here are theoretical probability, which we handled in the first cycle. The idea that our theoretical probability can be calculated by the number of successful outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. Right? Now, the idea here, we're going to take this a little bit further where we're dealing with two separate events creating one outcome. And we're going to rely on our ability to work down just like we did previously when we worked with theoretical probability. This video is suitable for a grade 11 3C student. Now, let's take a look right here where we're rolling two dice, a first die and a second die. This row tells us what we would be rolling from the first die. This column tells us what we would be rolling from the second die. And we'll add up the two rolls in order to get a single sum. So first we roll a 1 and a 1, that sums up to a 2. Then we're rolling a 2 and a 1, summing up to a 3 and a 1, summing up to a 4. And you could see if I went down my column, let's say a 3 and a 2 would give us a 5. Let's say a 3 and a 5 would give us an 8. And I'll ask you to pause the video here and fill out this entire chart. Good, now some pieces that stand out to us right here. The lowest possible roll is a 2, the highest possible roll is a 12. If you're used to playing board games, if you're used to rolling a pair of dice, that will not be new to you. You can also see that there is only one possible way of rolling a 2, that's from rolling snake eyes, 2 1s. There's only one possible way of rolling a 12, that's from rolling a pair of 6s. Now you can see here that 3s or 11s are more likely than a 2 or a 12, or rather, you can see here that 3s and 11s, there are multiple ways of rolling those, and there are more ways yet of rolling 4s and 10s, even more of rolling 5s and 9s, 6s and 8s, and lastly, there are the most ways of rolling a 7. Now, the idea right here is we're going to take all of these possibilities. There are 6 times 6, 36 different possible ways we can roll our dice. We can roll a 1 and a 1, a 1 and a 6. There are in fact 6 different things we could roll from the second die if I roll a 1 with my first. 6 different things I could roll with my second die if I roll a 2 with my first, and likewise throughout. So in total, there are 36 different ways I can roll my 2 dice. That 36 will come into play right here as our total number of outcomes. So let's take a look. Let's start calculating our first theoretical probability when we're rolling 2 dice here. So we are rolling a pair of dice, and we're looking to see what is the probability that the sum is a 9. Well, we know there are 36 different total outcomes that we could come up with. Now, how many of those are a 9? Well, we can take a nice look right here. Luckily, we've already highlighted them for us. Looks like there are 4 different ways to roll a 9 right here. That is from a 3 and a 6, from a 4 and a 5, from a 5 and a 4, and then a 6 and a 3. And you might say, well, hang on, Mr. Pasotka, you're repeating yourself there. And it kind of sounds like I am. But the thing is, if I roll a 3 with the first die, I could roll a 6 with the second die. That's different than rolling a 6 with the first die and a 3 with the second die. Two different ways, even though they sound super similar. But either way here, we're working with 4 different ways. That is 4 out of 26 is our theoretical probability of rolling a 9. Now, 4 over 36, we know we can reduce that a little bit further, divide the numerator, divide the denominator by 4. I'm working with 1 over 9. I can throw that right into my calculator. 1 divided by 9 times 100, that is 11.1% of the time I can expect to roll a 9. Again, as we handled last time we worked with theoretical probability, either of these are perfectly suitable for our final answers. Nice work. Now, I'll ask you to try out this one on your own. Pause the video here and try and calculate the theoretical probability of rolling a sum that is less than a 4. Go for it. Good, so working less than a 4. Now that does not include a 4. A 4 is not less than a 4, as 4 is equal to a 4. Right? We're going to work instead with 2s and 3s. So we could roll, there's a single way we could roll a 2, and there are 2 ways we could roll a 3. So in total, that is, there are 3 different ways we could roll something that is less than a 4. Okay, so that Numerator is 3. Our denominator, there are 36 different things, again, that can happen if I'm rolling 2 dice. I can reduce this fraction a little bit further. That is 1 over 12. I can turn that into a percentage by throwing it into my calculator. 1 divided by 12 times 100. I'm working with 8.3%. Again, either of these forms is perfectly acceptable depending on the way in which your math mind likes to view probabilities. So, if you followed along, I'm hoping you're feeling a little bit more comfortable working with the theoretical probability of rolling 2 dice. Nice work.